New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, top of the morning to you, beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that I wrote, guys, The Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if by the way. But if you do, my recommendation is that you study wealthy people. All right, you can find the Black Billionaires Club by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. We got 8 copies left, so you can be one of the last few to actually have a physical copy. We will not be printing this book anymore after this, so it'll be ebook and an audio book available for you. But if you want the physical copy, you got 8 chances left before we are finished with this book and we begin to write book number 2 to get a little upgrade going on for 2021. While you're at the store, while you're at the website, guys, we do have a store. You can find other Black author books, and then we also have a tab where you can actually choose to join our club, where we actually manifest this stuff into our lives as we focus on building wealth, building business while we build ourselves. Building wealth, building business while we build ourselves, and the most important part is building ourselves, which is what we do right here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. While you guys are connecting, man, we're going to be getting into continue our journey into the wealth choice, right? Written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Go ahead and let us know where you're connected from. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. Hit the heart button if you're on Instagram or anywhere else. Whatever you got to do to start clicking some stuff, making the internet go crazy, because Black folk are reading. Let us know where you're connected from, what city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. We'd love to know just how far our reach is here today as we're broadcasting from our virtual studios here in Decatur, Georgia. Let us know. We'll be going to continue our journey into the fourth law of wealth today. We'll continue our journey to the fourth law of wealth today. We'll do a quick recap, and then we'll get right into the thing this morning. Ms. Goodrich, thanks so much for joining us here out of Boston. Thanks so much for joining us here at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Our brother Craig Stevens, man, second time. That's right, good brother. Mr. Logan, good morning to you. Thanks so much. I'm ready for these gems. All right, man, you better go get this work. Hey, go get this work. Shiro has joined us as well over at the Instagram. See you, Ryan. Thanks so much. Sunshine247. It's Tish Thursday, obviously. Bellis Moore, thanks so much for joining us here today as well on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Do a quick shout out to our sponsors. Then we'll get right into this thing here this morning. We want to get as much as we can as we continue to move through this chapter. Our first sponsor is the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace with specialized in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art inspired gifts. You can shop Black at the Black Bazaar. Simply go to the website, theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Blackberry Charisma, our Black woman-owned business, where you can actually pick up some. She has some custom creation stuff from T-shirts, mugs, things like that. She also sells lingerie. Some pretty dope lingerie as well. So check her out at www.blackberrycharisma.com, www.blackberrycharisma.com. For the Hustler Books. This is another author who has written a book that helps you with business and helps you to develop your business. And if you pick up this book from him, he's going to also give you a consultation to be able to see how he can help you actually bring this thing to life, your idea that just needs some execution to bring it to reality. Check them out at For the Hustler or hustlerbooks.com, hustlerbooks.com. And last but not least, Big Sis Media. We could not be doing what we're doing without Big Sis Media, a Black woman-owned company, a media type company. Helps me with the digital aspect of what I do, from the websites to the trailers, the flyers, things like that. So if you need somebody need to be upgraded in 2021, check out Big Sis Media at bigsismediagroup.com. Everybody put in console, I choose wealth. I choose wealth. I choose wealth. What's going on, Miss Gilliard out of Arizona, Mr. Seawright out of Ohio. Thanks so much, man. Clarkston, Georgia, representing as well. Thanks so much as well. Miss Norcross, Georgia. All right, Sergio from Rolex from Jacksonville, Florida. That's what I'm talking about. I choose wealth. So we're going to be getting into the fourth law of wealth. We're continuing our journey to fourth law of wealth. Let's do a quick recap. Law number one. The first law of wealth simply says this, that wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. That wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. The second law of wealth says this, says we must decide now to not be poor. It's a decision. We must decide not to be poor. And the third law start talking about faith. It said, hey, believe in yourself when no one else will. Believe in yourself when no one else will. And we're now into the fourth law of wealth. We're going to get this work here today. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Homage to our brother LeVar Burton with Reading Rainbow. It's Reading Rainbow 2.0. Take a look. It's in a book. Let's read. So how one man was driven to use his gift. How one man was driven to use his gift. 7 years ago at a National Bank MBA conference in San Diego, California, I shared the days with one of America's most prolific motivational speakers. For years, Les Brown has inspired and ignited audiences around the globe. It has been said that Brown's message resonates because he sprinkles warmth and humor and hope and much needed information into every presentation, especially in a society that is void of such values. I, like the nearly 300 conference attendees, was perched on the edge of my seat at this world-class orator shared his story. Once Brown grabbed the microphone and began to work his magic, everyone within earshot of his voice was hooked. Within a 45-minute period, he took his listeners to the source of his roots and how he was driven to use his gift. His tale began 6 weeks after his birth in the loving arms of his adoptive mother, Mamie Brown, the only parent less than his fraternal twin brother Leslie had ever known. Mamie Brown, the 38-year-old single woman who worked tirelessly as a cook and maid in a nursing home caretaker, raised her two adopted sons in a two-bedroom shotgun house on the outskirts of what is known as Liberty City, one of the poorest sections of Miami, Florida. When she took us in, Brown explained, she had no idea as to how she was going to support us. She wanted a family, and she proceeded to do whatever it took to clothe and feed us. She was a woman of tremendous determination and courage. But Brown's story does not end there. He spoke in glowing terms of the one individual who is equally responsible for his success, Mr. Leroy Washington, a high school speech instructor. Admittedly, as a child, Brown was a poor student. Though he possessed a quick and sharp tongue, written material was beyond his grasp. Moreover, because of his hyperactive nature and poor classroom performance, as early as the 5th grade, the Miami school system labeled him educable, mentally retarded. A burden and a stigma that not only weighed heavily on his spirit, but forced him to flounder throughout his grade school years. Mr. Washington was not only the drama and speech teacher at Booker T. Washington High School, but he was a figure of note. He prided himself on finding and developing character and talent in his students. From the moment Les Brown met Mr. Washington and heard him speak, as seed was planted, he wanted to become one of Washington's star pupils. One day during a speech class, Brown was asked to step to the backboard and diagram a sentence. When Brown responded that he couldn't because he was classified as educable, mentally retarded, his teacher stopped him in his tracks. Don't you ever say that again. Washington demanded, someone's opinion of you need not become your reality. Someone's opinion of you need not become your reality. This event was a turning point in Brown's life. Most people die broke because they fail to uncover their true calling. They drift from one idea to the next, and as a result, they set their aim too low. They stop dreaming and stop glowing and stop believing and stop pushing and stop striving. In this global economy, that mindset is no longer an option. Each of us must begin to understand that either we expand or we will be expendable. Although I was humiliated that my teacher shared my shortcomings with my classmates, I was liberated. Mr. Washington looked at me with the eyes of Johann Goff, and who said, "Look at a man the way that he is. He only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, and he becomes what he should be." A seven-figure income does not require IQ, Brown told his audience. Only I will. And at one moment, Mr. Washington forced Brown to realize that there's something special inside of each of us, a basic goodness that we must choose to manifest in every possible way. Thanks to my mother and later Mr. Washington, I grew up with the conviction that I was going to be somebody. Where my peers may have envisioned only a life of minimum wage or even life on the street, I dreamed of greatness. Everybody put in console, I dream of greatness. I dreamed of greatness. And those dreams propelled me to pursue my gifts. Les Brown had a dream, and he is living it. In 1986, broke and sleeping on a cold linoleum floor in his office, he began to pursue a career as a motivational speaker. By the early 1990s, he was one of the most highest paid public speakers in the nation. His company, Les Brown Unlimited, Inc., generates millions of dollars per year from his speaking tours and the sale of motivational products. Brown's audience is wide, from Fortune 500 companies to assembly line workers to prison inmates to special education classes. His mission is to promote a message that will help others become uncomfortable with mediocrity. I'm uncomfortable with mediocrity. Uncomfortable with mediocrity. A lot of people are content with their discontent, Brown explains. I want to be a catalyst to enable the average man and woman to see themselves having more and achieving more. In order to do something you've never done, Brown pointed out, you've got to become someone you've never been. Let me say that again for the people in the back. In order to achieve something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. Financial independence is a choice, not a destiny. Each of us has the potential to reach our monetary goals, but reaching those goals is up to you. Had I not lost my job in broadcasting as a disc jockey, I would have never experienced a remarkable string of events. I would have never run for the Ohio legislature. I would have never pursued the goal and dream of becoming a talk show host. I would never seen myself as an individual who could make a difference in the community. My advice to all is to shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. It is men and women like Les Brown who trample on impossibilities, like John Barfield, who don't wait for opportunities but make them, like Kathy Hughes, who keep at it even when others give up, like Chris Gardner, who, when faced with disaster, turn neither to the left nor to the right, like Michelle Hoskins, who, when others drop to the rear, lean on the well-worn scripture, according to your faith, be it unto you, and like Carla Harris, who, during her moment of truth, as she stood before her admirers, colleagues, and as well as college students, when asked for the key to wealth and prosperity, openly shared, I am no different. I'm really no different than you. I may have made more money than you, but money doesn't really explain the difference. Everything that I've achieved during my career has been the result of knowing my particular strengths and talents combined with precise goal-setting strategies and disciplines. I've learned long ago from those far more wealthy than me that goals and objectives are great, but understanding your gifts and purpose is imperative. If you follow this simple plan, financial success will take care of itself. This is the thing that I live by. This is the one thing that I do. When you get excited about life, everybody put in console, get excited. When you get excited about life, growth, and money will get excited about you. When you get excited about life, growth, and money will get excited about you. When you get excited about life and growth and money will get excited about you. When you get excited about life and growth and money will get excited about you. When you get excited about life and growth and money gets excited about you. When you get excited about life, growth, money, it gets excited about you. Here again is the fourth law of wealth. Regardless of the difficulties, no matter how unpromising the circumstances, Black millionaires are drawn by an irresistible impulse to the vocation for which they were created. Financial advice from the most powerful Black woman on Wall Street. Financial advice from the most powerful Black woman on Wall Street. Let's read. On the surface, Carla Harris remarks may sound like simplistic mother wit that you tell others that after you've already banked your first million. But Harris is sincere. She loves what she does, and she genuinely believes that her reputation as one of the most successful Black women operating in the capital market arena is due to her ability to carve out a role that plays to her unique strengths. But surprisingly, her talents are not those you might expect to see in a successful investment banker. Today's global marketplace is fast-paced, extraordinarily complicated, rife with internal politics, and at times less than moral. Therefore, you would think that the individual best suited for this environment will be blessed with urgency, operate with a take no prisoners type of approach, and be skeptical regarding the motives of both potential clients and investors. Harris's cannot claim any of these strengths. By all accounts, she is patient, compassionate, trusting of other people's motives, and deeply spiritual. So how does she succeed? Well, like so many of her wealthy peers who are both successful and fulfilled, she found a way. Everybody put in council, find a way. She found a way to cultivate the talents and the gifts that she does possess and put them to work. She found a way to cultivate the talents and gifts that she possessed and she put them to work. Now, here's the deal. Many of you and many of us that might be tuning in right now, some of us just simply have not discovered or uncovered the gifts that we possess. Might still be on that journey. But the other part is, well, maybe you have. Maybe you know what you're good at. Maybe you really understand you more than anybody else. But it's still a cultivating process that takes place. And then you got to put it to work. You got to put it to work. You got to get out there. You got to do something. You got to put it to work. I mean, I'm just thinking about this person, whoever this is. I don't even know if this person here, but I'm thinking about this person that's just, an excellent seamstress. I mean, you could sew some anything, but maybe in your mind you feel like sewing is so outdated, and you're gonna go and try to chase something else, another waterfall. But if you just put it to work, you'll be amazed who you find to buy the stuff that you sew, whatever that is. Cultivate and put it to work. With a disdain for wasted time, she turned her natural patience into long-term goal-setting plans of action, a skill that is sorely needed on Wall Street. One of the keys to long-term financial success is to think short-term, she explained during the interview. At the beginning of each year, I list my goals in two columns. On the right, I state the type of person I want to be. And on the left, I list more definitive goals, such as to generate $10 million of revenue within the calendar year. Furthermore, every day I prepare a to-do list that I know will undoubtedly change throughout the course of the day. Any change will eventually impact my week, my months, and my year. It is only in this manner that I am reminded that the future begins this very moment. The future begins now. Everybody put that in the comments below. The future begins now. I'm reminded that the future begins this very moment. That is an aspect that you cannot lose sight of in this business. Millionaires never ask if, they only question when. Next, she put her trusting nature to good use by developing key relationships both inside and outside of her company. Relationships that have blossomed into a bevy of high-profile IPOs, including Martha Stewart's Living Omni Media, Burger King, and Digitas. If patience and compassion figure into Harris's work, so too does a good measure of faith. If you had asked me 22 years ago, what drives you, what makes you successful, I would have been unable to answer your questions. My faith was there, but I wasn't conscious of it, nor did I know how to call on it. understanding the source of my power, understanding the source of my power, understanding the source of my power, all power, and how to call on it and harness it and use it is the greatest lesson I've learned. I've learned it through trials and errors, through hitting a wall and questioning myself, through losing my confidence and then regaining it, and through realizing it was the prayers and it was the faith. It was the expectation of achieving my goals that got me through. And that's why every year at the top of my to-do list, my objectives of establishing a deeper abiding faith. Because every year I learn a little bit more about how powerful I can be with him out in front. Carla Harris has used her patience and compassion and spiritual approach since she first walked through the doors of Morgan Stanley. She has honed it and perfected it and struck it with it even when superiors and colleagues called her management style into question. Her distinct outlook is the cause of her professional financial success, and to hear her tell it, also the cause of her personal happiness. She's a world-class investor and a capital markets player because she deliberately plays to her strengths and utilizes her gifts. In this sense, and perhaps this sense alone, Harris is correct. She isn't any different from you and me. Her story is relevant not because of what she has attained, but because she has uncovered laws and lessons that can serve as practical guides for each of us, specifically the have-nots among us. The majority of millionaires in this study realized early in their careers that they possess certain talents and gifts as well as limitations. They accentuated their own positive traits, talents, and innate skills. Moreover, they refused to permit what they couldn't do to interfere with what they could do, what they were uniquely gifted to do. Nearly every member of the financial elite in this study was quick to uncover his or her strengths and eventually capitalize on his or her niche while minimizing any shortcomings. As any survey participant was quick to state, we may be born equal, but thankfully each of us is different. And here lies the starting point to success. It's a lot easier being you than trying to be someone else. Everybody put down, so I love me some me. It's a lot easier being you than trying to be someone else. It's a lot easier. Just be you, boo. It's a lot easier that way. I love me some me. Here lies the starting point of success. It's a lot easier being you than trying to be someone else. I found my niche. I selected a vocation based on my abilities, my aptitude, and strong desire to become financially independent. No amount of positive or wishful thinking can make you something that you're not. And another member of the Seven Figure Club made a play on words and said, I decided long ago to live my life on purpose. And yet another respondent adeptly summed up this chapter when she stated, a career is what you're paid for, but a calling is what you're made for. Best-selling author and magazine publisher W. Randall Jones dispels a host of myths regarding wealth and success and offers new evidence in his book, The Richest Man in Town. He reflects on Andrew Carnegie's well-worn refrain as being only somewhat true. In 1889, Carnegie, the steel magnate, wrote, there's a power under your control that is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all of your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. Jones goes on to share that while each of us may possess incredible powers as well as an optimistic can-do spirit, our potential is limitless only when we find and use those powers to identify our talents, strengths, and purpose. Wealth creation is predicted on finding your perfect niche. Prosperity does not dictate what you should do, but it does demand that you do something and that you excel in your efforts. I repeat that again. Prosperity does not dictate what you should do, but it does demand that you do something, and that you excel in your efforts. There's no grander sight than that of a people in their right place struggling with might and main. There is no grander sight than that of people in their right place struggling with might and main to make the most of what nature has provided, determined that not an ounce of their potential should go to waste. Go to the bottom if you aspire to reach the top. Be master of your calling in all its details. Study yourself, wrote Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the 19th century poet. And most of all, note well wherein kind of, oh Lord, old English. Note well wherein kind nature meant you to excel. Old English there. So we got reading up on Harris. We're reading up on Les Brown, financial advice, the most powerful black woman on Wall Street. Give me 1 second, guys. What's this? Oh. Okay, cool. We'll read one more section, guys. Oh, we got, what time is it? Oh, I got one more section. All right. One more section. This one thing I do. This one thing I do. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's keep reading. This one thing I do. Oh, the power of a great purpose. Does anyone doubt that such a mighty resolution adds power to the ordinary man or woman, or that it inspires individuals to accomplish what they've undertaken? Neither ridicule nor caricature, neither dread of enemies nor desertion by family and friends can shake the indomitable will of the man or woman who can mouth such a statement. This one thing that I do. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share, what is that for you? What's that one thing that you do, and you do it so well, baby? What's the one thing that you do? See, I'm a teacher. One thing that I do is I teach. And obviously, I focus on teaching investing. But I teach pretty dang on good. I mean, I can break some stuff down and download it into someone else and get them to understand it. I am an excellent teacher. And the one thing that I do is teach, educator, convey a message, make sure you grab it and you understand it. This one thing that I do. What about you? What about you? What are you a master at? While you might be trying to be a jack of all trades, what are you mastering? What are you a master at? Cedric said, man, one thing I do is collaborate. I know how to bring some people together. That's what I do. I know how to collaborate. All right. Kashan said, man, I cook. Baby. Yeah, put me in the kitchen. See what happens. Yeah, one thing I do, I know how to cook and then get down. What about you? This one thing that I do. And I think what is LL Cool J song? You should be doing it and doing it and doing it well. You should be doing it and doing it and doing it well. No two words in the English language stand out any bolder than I will. Strength, power, faith, and trust characterize their delivery. These words speak to you of triumph over difficulties, of victory in the face of discouragement, of lofty and daring enterprise, or unfettered aspirations. Just as a photographer could never capture the elegance of Naomi Campbell or Tyra Banks on paper with an unsightly image in his mind, so too the ending balance in your checkbook will never get greater than your self-confidence, than your ability to execute your plans. The ability to set specific goals with clear plans of execution has created more millionaires than any other trait, and it has changed the face of the world. Now, this is very interesting to me, because I've come across more and more people that that really want to advance in life. The very first thing I start with is, what are you trying to accomplish? What is your goal? What is the target? And you're going to hear me talk about this because this thing right here, although it's simple in nature, it seems like we just continue to overlook this thing. What is it that you want? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What's the target? So I just went through this with my whole investing group. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to start right here. We're going to set some smart investing goals, because if you do not have a goal, I cannot help you. I'm not trying to help the person that's going nowhere. No, I can help you get to where you want to go if we know where you're trying to go. You understand what I'm saying? It starts here. What do you want? What are you trying to accomplish? What is your target? Too many of us take setting goals and targets for granted. And we find ourselves in a position where we start going in circles because we have not taken control. We have not put a direction for our life in some way. It may be a moment that you're just trying to figure it out. We get that. But figure it out you shall, and tell your life where you want your life to go. He said this ability to set specific goals with a clear plans of execution has created more millionaires than any other trait. So I don't know about you, but it sounds like to me that if I want to be a millionaire, you want to be a billionaire, and you want to be a millionaire, y'all want to get rich or build wealth, you might want to start setting some specific goals with clear plans of execution. You might want to set some specific goals with clear plans of execution. You might want to set some specific goals with clear plans of execution. And it's changed the face of the world. This age of specialization calls not for the merely educated or for the talented or the jack of all trades, but for men and women who have been trained to gather their abilities and complete a task as well as it can be done. Mere energy is not enough, and education is of little value unless it is concentrated. In the game of life, the most mediocre students will often outstrip valedictorians simply because what little ability average students possess are focused on a specialized skill. Scholars replete with college degrees and heads full of knowledge and impressive resumes never concentrate their powers. As a result, the scholars never find their way. The lack of individuality. They are absorbed within the masses, lost in the crowd, weak, wavering, and drawing an average day's pay for an average day's work. What is more common than the unsuccessful genius or the average men or women with commanding talents? Unrewarded genius has become a proverb. Hundreds of thousands of educated and talented men and women are now labeled down and out. I want to go back here. This is very, very interesting, this connection, this comparison here. We'll go back up. In the game of life, the most mediocre students will often outstrip valedictorians simply because what little ability average students possess are focused. Everybody put it also focused on a specialized skill. Scholars, replete with college degrees and heads full of knowledge and impressive resumes, never concentrate their powers. As a result, the scholars never find their way. They lack individuality. They are absorbed within the masses and they're lost in the crowd, weak, wavering, and drawing an average day's pay for an average day's work. What is more common than the unsuccessful genius or average men or women with commanding talents? Unrewarded genius has become a proverb. Hundreds of thousands of educated and talented men and women are now labeled down and out. Wow. Could it be? Could it be? I just want you to think about this for just a second. Wherever it is that you foresee yourself in the future, whatever the case may be, I just want you to think about this for a second. Could it simply be this? That you're not where you ought to be, or you're not where you want to be, simply because you never planned to get there? Could it be? Because here's what I found in my life and all the people that I've come across in my life. Whenever they plan to do something, 99.9% of the time, it gets done. Right? They plan to go to the concert, they go. They plan to go to the ball game, they go. They plan to go on vacation, they go. But when we start talking about planning to live the life that you want to live, planning to generate the income that you want to make, planning to get out of debt, planning to leave an inheritance to your children's children, for some strange reason, we don't seem to get to the planning phase. We get to the wanting phase and the thinking phase and the hoping phase and the praying phase. But what about the planning phase? What about the writing the vision down and making it plain phase? Oh, I want, but I think the good Lord is saying, have you planned it? If you just plan it, then I can order your steps to help you get to it. Let me say that again for the people back. I believe the good Lord is saying this morning, you keep talking about everything that you want, and I want to give it to you. Because I got plans for you to prosper. I know what I want for you, but I just need you to take a little step and plan that thing out. So then I can help order your steps. I can usher in behind your objective. And I can order your steps. Could it be you simply have not because you have planned not? This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something that was your takeaway for here today. A seed that's been planted in your consciousness, your subconscious, quite possibly. Your mind, your spirit, or your soul. You're saying, you know what? I'm going to do some thinking about this, and then I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to be the change that I want to see in my own life. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time? And why? I do not take your time for granted. Your time is more valuable than your money. To get your attention for 30 minutes in the morning, when you got all that other stuff you got going on with the kids and stuff like that, I do not take that lightly. But was it worth your time to spend here with us, New Black Wall Street Book Club, Reading the Rainbow 2.0? Take a look. It's in a book. Now tonight, I don't know what we got going on while you guys are typing. I'll let you guys know some announcements. I think today's Thursday. Yes, Thursday. So tonight, we'll be in the BBC tonight. We'll do a little special presentation. I'll be sharing with you guys my keynote presentation I did for the Black CEO. This is what we're gonna be talking about though. We're gonna make sure whoever show up, because everybody don't always show up, but whoever do, y'all walking away with some clear plans. Y'all walk away with some clear plans or some clear goals and some set objectives, so you can go out there and you can go crush those goals. That's what we're doing tonight. I know we want to do it. We want to trade. We want to do an investing and all this stuff. We're building a bit. Now we start with the plan. We start with the blueprint. That's what we start. That's what we're gonna be doing here tonight. For those that's not the BBC, hey, what can I say? You're invited. Come on, join us. Up to you. But if you need some accountability, you see yourself wavering, drifting. You're saying, man, I'm not where I should be, not where I could be, not where I want to be. Well, maybe you need to stop trying to do it by yourself. Maybe you need some tough love, and you need some soft love. I don't know. But I do know that where two or three are joined together, right? I do know there's power in agreement. I do know something happens when you get people who are going in a similar direction. Something happens. Magical. Like-minded. That's when you begin to develop this thing we call the mastermind. Not just you thinking. You got 14 other people thinking with you to help you get to a place where you now understand what you need to do next. Whatever that might be. Catch up on these comments, man. We'll get up out of here, man. Hey, the planning phase, right? Amen, man. Y'all always talking about preaching. I hear that. Man, I'm tired of the wanting stage. I've been wanting, I've been praying, I've been on my knees. Like, that's great. Do that. But let's get to the planning phase. I got to a place where I just start telling God what I want. Listen, if we can't keep doing this, you know what I'm saying? This ain't where I'm trying to, this is what I want, Father. And I just start telling him. It felt a little uncomfortable at first. Like, who am I to tell the Father what I want? But it started working. And I kept doing more of it. Hell no. Man, it starts with a plan. Must do our part and plan, right? Tell the truth. Absolutely. I'll do my best. Thank you. Great story. It's a great story. Okay, fantastic. Once you plan it, God will order your steps, right? It's worth your time because I realized maybe I need to revisit my plan. Yeah, whoa, that's a lot right there. Revisit the plan. You know, then you can start seeing what's working, what's not working. Then you can start saying, well, you had the plan, but did you work the plan? That's another piece. Okay, I got the plan, but then the other 24 hours, 7 days out of the week, 365 days a year, although I've written the plan down, am I really executing the plan? That's next. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know if you revisit it, that's cool, but are you working it? You wrote it, or are you working it? Okay, let's keep going. You might need a coach. You might need a coach. You might need some assistance. Just saying. Just saying. That's what that's where a good coach, mentor, whatever comes in handy. You go from I to we. How many guys know that we is more powerful than I? We is more powerful than I. We gonna revisit the plan. Versus I'm just going to revisit it, and I'm still thinking the same way that I've been thinking. I still got some of the similar thoughts that I had before. Maybe you need to bring in another person, right? Another person to say, we going to revisit this plan. Hey, today's seed planting phase is stay focused on my execution, man. Make a plan. Absolutely, man. What time tonight? Ms. Goodrich, come on now. You already know. All right, I have not because I plan not. Tough love. I said that, didn't I? That came out of my mouth, huh? What's going on over here at Instagram? I need to plan. It helps with focus, right? Clear plans of execution over here, right? Yes, this is worth my time. It's live audiobook. It will encourage to me to plan and execute my plan. That's what I'm talking about. I'm making a plan. Yep. Might need some assistance. Yep. Now we is absolutely more powerful than I, right? We is more powerful than I. All right, beautiful people, man. That's our time here today. New Black Wall Street Book Club again. From our brother, Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. We're in the 4th law of wealth. I hope to finish chapters within a week, but it don't look like we finish in this chapter within a week, so we might spill over to the next week unless we want to go hard on Saturday. We can go hard on Saturday, finish it up. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going hard on Saturday. Whatever's left of this chapter, we're finishing up on Saturday, right? I'm planning to finish this chapter this week, and that's what we're going to do. Is this on YouTube? I need to watch from the beginning. Yes, it's on YouTube, ERGJ Enterprises. You can find it on Facebook or YouTube. Same thing, ERGJ Enterprises. Well, beautiful people, I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
New black. It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah.